one of the things you never say, never say about Giannis is that he doesn't want to improve, or he's not a hard worker, or he won't give everything he can to improve. Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis Show with your one and only Thanasis Antetokounmpo and Tony C.
What up, what up, what up?
My dog. Today we have a special show. As you can see, we're still on the road, still shooting here, but I want to talk about one thing, and a lot of people will understand this, being from sports and being, there's nothing that makes me happier, right, than a good redemption story. When somebody comes back, right, when nobody expected and just like crushes it. And everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for this guy. This is what the biggest movies I love about. This is why I loved Coach Carter, right? This is what I love. Remember the Titans, this is what I love. Like, and if you give it Sunday, this is what sports movies are made about. Like,
for sure.
Just redemption stories. And right now, just seeing everybody back with the team, seeing everybody, I'm loving it. And we're building our own story. So keep going. This is what we got, Tony.
All right, I was curious where you were going with that, because
No.
I thought you were going to go Kendrick Nunn possibly in the EuroLeague right now, just falling like crazy on Kostas' team, obviously. But no, the Bucks started, what was it, 2-8?
2-8, man. Just
2-8,
just being back in the mix and just trying to figure it out again.
Yep, a lot of season left. Want to hit on a lot of NBA headlines that we've seen over the past couple of weeks and just get opinions and some stuff on them, because I think some of them are pretty interesting. JA Morant said he's done dunking the basketball. He's trying to preserve his body, and he says basically, unless I have to, I'm done dunking the basketball.
So I saw two things, because I saw some stuff that bothered me, and I saw some stuff which is those make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that bothered me was that, oh my God, what are you talking about? This, that, like, guys, this guy makes a living with basketball. This basketball for him is like, it's his life. It's not just something that people just go out in the backyard and just play.
I think more importantly, he makes a living with his body.
With his body too, like, and for people to get a context and understanding is, for somebody to say that means he knows, he has self-awareness, and he knows exactly where he's at with his body. Yeah, he knows exactly. And we're talking about a heavy athlete. We're talking about like one of the most athletic guys in the league. So
And he's only 6'2".
Yeah, and he's in tune with his body, right?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I saw this and was just like, this makes a ton of sense. You recently had an episode with Sergio Pettis, and he said on there he fights smart so he can fight longer. He doesn't take unnecessary hits. There's NFL players who before, some wide receivers, they catch the ball, they're running toward the sideline. Back in the day, you used to lower your shoulder, hit a cornerback. That's one extra hit instead. Now you just go out of bounds. Right? Yeah. Like, there are ways to preserve your body for longer, and I don't think people really appreciate that.
100%. And the other thing too is that what I saw, and I was like, okay, that this makes sense. When people were saying that, like, they were saying like about his game, and his game is going to change, and if he's not that athletic, is he going to be dunking? Is he going to be going back people? I think he's going to stay the same. Now, I know he said he's not going to dunk it. Guys, best believe he's going to dunk it at some point.
Instinct takes over.
Instinct's going to take over. But I want to say one thing, right? And this is how you'll know, like, how in tune he is with his body. And he had, shout out to D Rose and the people who've been through this, right? Because the first thing we was saying, everybody was like, hey, you're jumping, you're falling. You're jumping and you're falling. Like this, right? He had some nasty falls. He had some weird falls, like with his leg kind of twisted
Up
back.
Under him, yep.
Wrapping him. Like, that was not, that's not how you're supposed to fall in basketball. Like, one of the things you learn as an athlete in any sport is how to fall. Well, what's your preferred? Like, you don't want to fall with your elbow. That's how you break your
that hurts.
That's how you dislocate your shoulder or break your elbow. You don't want to fall with your wrist, because that's how you break your wrist. You don't want to fall with your knees. That's how you hurt your knees. You always want to fall kind of to the side, kind of just roll out every time you fall. Now, that's not doable every time, Tony.
No.
But that's how you want to fall. Now, think about this. When we was talking about Derrick Rose and JA Morant, there was the same situation. They're both like huge explosive, very explosive. I believe, right, that, and I'm not God, but obviously sometimes less is more, right? And you let you for longevity. He's been on the run. Like, you see what Ja Morant's been doing for the past so long, and now he's had a stint that he was hurt and then came back and then got hurt again. So I definitely see where he's coming from. I just don't like how people don't have this understanding of saying, like, hey, we understand, like, because the only thing they see is the highlights and the sell more to be more, you know what I'm saying, more appealing and human highlight and all these things, which is great. If you can do it, do it. But if you can't, you're here to play basketball. You're here to win games.
And if instinct takes over and he takes off on a 6'7" guy or a center and tries to dunk on him, of course it's going to happen. I think if you look around the league, just the history of the league, shooters, specifically, you think of some of the best shooters of all time.
Yes.
Kyle Korver, J.J. Redick, Ray Allen. They didn't take a lot of hits. They didn't take a lot of contact. They weren't at the rim trying to score on someone the size of Valanciunas, right? Like, they just didn't do those things. They were able to play longer careers, make more money, and be a part of some really winning teams. Ja Morant's case, if he changed his game from I'm looking to dunk on everybody every single time to let me pull up from 18, the 2 points count the same, and he develops a really good DeRozan-like mid-range, he's going to play. He's
good that he had the floaty.
So, like, all right, you're going to float it instead of dunk it? Cool. 2 points count the same. Yeah. Like, so I look at that.
It's less appealing, but it counts the same.
It's less appealing if you're just looking at SportsCenter.
No, I'll tell you what it is. It's less appealing when, like, the reason you're Ja Morant and the reason, like, you're this guy is because you're 6'2" and you're jumping this high. Because if you were 7 feet and you were just, like, jumping and dunking it, it doesn't look that impressive. It doesn't
look as cool, yeah.
Unless you're, like, okay, guy, Bron and Yanni and
like
KD.
Blake Griffin was, like, 6'8", 6'9".
Yeah, exactly. And Blake and DeAndre Jordan. Then it looks great because you're 7 feet and you jump this high, too. So, yeah. But if you're 7 feet and you just jump and dunk it doesn't look that it's great to have, but it doesn't look that impressive. The thing is, he has the floater, he has the shots, he has the in and out comeback, dribble, kind of take you to the layup, everything. I'm just more of I'm talking as a vet, man. I've played 12 years. I'm saying this, like I'm in the locker room. I'm proud of you for, like, saying this. And whatever happens. Maybe you go out there, you dunk 5 times. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But having the self-awareness, it's very, very important.
It's super smart. And I look at it, so when I was younger, there used to be this commercial that we all thought was really cool. It was Dwayne Wade. And it was like, fall down 7, get up 8. And the commercial showed him at the rim just getting drilled, hitting the ground. I think it probably had Shaq and Gasol, and, like, taking hits from these massive people. Dwayne Wade is a top whatever player all time, hands down, great.
Yeah.
We probably could have got more Dwayne Wade if he had the longevity. He played a long career, but toward the end, like, those body blows, they just adds up.
It does add up, and you got to think one more thing: Dwayne Wade and Ja Morant are in the same body type.
No,
we're talking about a beat. Like Dwayne Wade, just a physical specimen. I'm not saying Ja Morant is not.
It's just
athletically,
different.
But we're talking about if you're heavy, but like I'm, like even for me, like I'm not this huge guy, but I weigh 235. Like I'm big boned guy. So like when I fall on people and I hit people, it sounds different. Exactly. So it sounds different than if I was 6'2", weighing 2. I don't know. What is
Ja Morant is listed at 6'2", 174.
174. So it's a big difference.
That's a huge difference.
Huge difference, right? And basketball, not even NFL. We're talking about like basketball. So I think I'm just proud of him, man. Hey, want to thank our sponsors, Gruber Law Offices. I want us to thank Potawatomi Casinos and Hotel and Carbliss. Thank you guys so much. Back to the show. What's next?
Giannis is the best mid-range player of all time.
What are you talking about?
I'm joking a little bit, but some of the stats that he has right now, he is putting on a clinic with his mid-range game. Yeah. The other day, he hits his first 10 of 10 from the floor. Yeah. He shot 91% that game. But overall, depending on when you're listening to this, he's kind of gone from the best mid-range percentage in the NBA. Let me repeat that. The best mid-range percentage in the NBA with like minimum 50 shots, too. He's in like the 90s with number of mid-range attempts.
Double that then.
Yeah, so like he's shooting a consistent mid-range shot and he's hitting it.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do with that? What do you do if your assignment is let's game plan for Giannis? and he's added this.
Forget about game plan. Let's talk about. This is what gets me, and I will say this, and this might be the last time I say this, because we keep, and this is the biggest mistake we do. Sometimes, it's certain people who just play through their ceiling every time, right? I think it happens with LeBron when you like, hey, you're not gonna be this athletic. At 40 years old, dunking on everybody. Right? We have this, let's say, this pedestal with Nikola. Nikola's not athletic. He can't really play in the NBA. He's, you know what I'm saying? Go through his ceiling. Luka, the same. So many other guys. Steph Curry, like, oh, you're not that tall. How are you going to make an impact? Like, really make an impact. It's the same thing. At first, it was, oh, my God, this guy, he's scrawny. He can't play in the NBA. He can't be in the NBA. Bulks up. Bulldozes everybody. Then the metrics was like, okay, he's bullying everybody. We will build the ball. He won't pass. Great passer. Boom. Right in the money.
Great passer.
Right in the money. Now it's like, okay, he can't make free throws. Won the final game. 17 out of 17 free throws. Start making his free throws. Okay, you know what? He can't make mid-range. He comes in. He starts to make mid-range. What I'm saying is, it's happening. And what instead of saying like, yo, you straight, bro. Like, okay, we keep saying like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And when you tell Giannis you can't do something, when you tell him, you don't understand his work ethic. Like, we're talking about the guy who's done. So, let me ask you one question. In this NBA, apart from, because there's a lot of guys who've done this, right? But with Giannis, what is the accolade he hasn't gotten yet? Tell me one accolade.
Accolade he doesn't have yet. Yeah. So I'm just going to run down the list of things he does have while I try to figure this out. Is this a riddle?
No, it's not a riddle.
Right,
it's a legit question.
Champion, Finals MVP, regular season MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, first team, third team last year because that was dumb.
Most improved?
Bob Cousy Award. Oh, most improved.
Did he win most improved?
He did win most improved.
The only one he didn't have was as a rookie because he came in as a kid.
He wasn't even. I probably didn't play enough games to be eligible.
And the one more, he doesn't have his 6 man of the year. Who maybe he decides in 6 years from now, he says like,
come off the bench.
I'm gonna come off the bench and win.
Also, I think the Bob Cousy Award might be a college award for point guards.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
No, why do I say that?
Because he has nothing left to prove.
What does he have? To who?
Himself. I honestly think that's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. So the only thing he has to is just we have this hunger because we grew up in the streets. We grew up in the dirt. We grew up in the streets of Athens. Athens is this small, and we had friends. We did this. We had to claw our way up, and it's embedded into us now. It's in our DNA. Hunger, like hard work, perseverance. Like, bro, listen, bro. I've had this injury, and it's me literally saying like, no. I got to be the best example for my brothers. Like, my brothers look at me like, bro, you straight, bro. Like, take your time, do this. And I'm like, no. You guys going to see me out there. You're going to do this. It's this hunger. So now you're underestimating somebody's hunger and somebody's willingness to win and to improve.
I can attest to this as we are recording between workouts.
Workouts, by the way.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing because people forget about this. We came in years now and we said, Giannis and Ben Simmons and Giannis and this guy. And, if we could get this guy to shoot, if we could get this guy to... Bro, do you understand? One of the things you never say, never say about Giannis is that he doesn't want to improve or he's not a hard worker or he won't give everything he can to improve. If things don't work out, things didn't work out. But damn near he will sit in the sand and claw his way up into greatness. Bro, you see this in his eye. This man came last year and we said, you know what? Man, he was hurt. Sat down. The whole series against the Pacers. And I know I'm going on a rant, but listen, the whole series against the Pacers. And watch his team. Watches his team. Unable to help the team lose. And then went this whole summer and played the Olympics. And went to the Olympics after being hurt. And got out there and won. And went to the Olympics after 15 years. And then after 15 years, he was like, no, I'm going to work on my mid-range. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do that. And came in and shooting, bro, the best field goal mid-range in the league. Forget about the MVP. Forget about anything. You have a guy who's improving on something without losing his aggressiveness. He didn't come out there and start shooting a bunch of twos, a bunch of threes. He's doing everything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I'm his brother. So to me, all of this is joy. If I wasn't, to me, that's scary.
Of you're trying to defend him or you're trying to game plan? Yeah.
It's scary, bro. It's scary because when are you going to just chill? It's scary. It's my brother. So I'm like, that's great. I love it. Let's go. Keep going. And obviously, I'm part of it, right? We're all part of it. I'm gassing him. We're part of it. They're just pushing him, right? But if I'm not in the circle or I'm not around the team or something, I'm scared. I'm like, what is this guy doing, bro? How is this possible? What is this guy doing? How is this changing his game? How is this guy? Every time we say something, he says, all right, watch this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, go to the next one. What's the next subject? Forget about the
No, because
make it short.
You just made, and I know if anyone from Nike is watching this, your list, I'm telling you this is, you see your next commercial, you can get it from me, we'll talk royalties later. All right? Your list of all the things that people said he couldn't do. He couldn't put on muscle. He bulked up. He couldn't become most improved player. He wins that award. He wouldn't be MVP. He won, like what you just listed. I was over here like with the goosebumps.
Yeah, but it's true. I'm not lying.
I mean, it's real.
It's real, bro.
Nothing better than this happening anymore. All right, I'm done.
Let's go
I'm
to
just
the
saying.
next one.
You're welcome. You're welcome for the commercial. I'm going to step outside of basketball for a second.
Yeah, go.
There's a rule that's being thrown around in baseball.
What is that?
So the commissioner of MLB brought up this idea. I think it's called Golden at Bat or Golden Bat Rule or something like that. They are proposing that late in games, when your team is at bat, instead of going through the order, so baseball is 1 through 9, you hit an order, you can put any player up to bat at any given time. Just one time in a game, you can be like, oh, we're down 3-2. We have 2 runners on. We need a home run here. I'm going to go put this player to the plate right now.
So you can just get the pick.
You can just get, even if they're already playing.
So you play them again. They can bat again.
So like
then.
if they batted 2 batters ago, and it's like, you know what, we need you to get back up there. You can put them back in the game.
That's interesting. I love that. I would love to see that because I was like, I want Jackson back. I want to
right? Can you imagine the Brewers could have put Jackson Chourio back?
Yes.
So I love this. I think it's fun. Baseball people.
I'd love to see Turang back right away. Boom. I want to see him.
That's your boy.
That's my guy, bro.
So Bryce Turang from the Milwaukee Brewers, who we're talking about. We need to make that happen. I think it's fun. Another idea here. Now, I'm just full of ideas today. I think if the MLB does this, ESPN, you know how they play SportsCenter at night. They need to have the rights, no matter who else is broadcasting the game. If someone says golden at bat or golden bat, ESPN can go right to it. So like I'm watching SportsCenter at night. The Dodgers are playing. They're down, and they're like, you know what, Shohei, you're up again. Oh, I need to see that.
Everybody goes up, boom.
And then can you imagine the first time that the golden at bat hits a home run?
And they win the game for them.
Yes, and it's on SportsCenter. Like
that's why I love it. That's why I love
it. Couple quick hitters here for you. I think the first time the Bucks play this team is in late January.
Which team?
The San Antonio Spurs. But Wemby is
on a tear.
On a tear.
What is he doing? What is he averaging?
I know he had a 50-point night the other night. I want to say if he didn't get a triple-double, he came pretty close a couple separate times. He's still, like 20 years old?
Yeah, sure.
We did an episode very early on when you broke down the Wemby Giannis matchup.
Yeah, I told you, like
Godzilla King Kong.
Yeah, Godzilla versus King Kong. That's crazy.
When you watch him, as much basketball as you watch, and you saw Wemby at a young age too. The league should be scared of what this kid has the potential to do, right?
100%.
It's terrifying.
So I'll tell you what it is, right? The league has this thing after 2-3 years just figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see the prototypes are so special. And I say prototypes, I'll give you 5-6 of them. You know, from Steph, James Harden, Bron, KD, Jan, like Kyrie, the league has this thing of figuring you out
for sure,
right? And if you don't adapt, if you don't gain muscle, start making free throws, start passing, start evolving, they will figure it out, and then they will start playing like that.
And then you become
that guy.
Yep.
So the thing about what's very interesting about Victor is that he's just constantly he can do everything, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the very interesting part.
I think he had a game with 7 threes.
Yeah. So just like that's amazing, right? Mm-hmm. I want to see hopefully in 2-3 years, maybe I get it, and I don't want to say it on air, but if I get a chance to talk to him, I would love to like just tell him some stuff and explain to him what people fear the most. You know, people because the reality is people don't fear skill. People fear mentality. That's what people fear. They don't feel the skill. It's cool. Like you can make shots. If you make shots, KD can make shots.
It's a great book title, by the way.
Yeah. KD can make shots. You know, every other 3-man can make shots. Malik Beasley can make shots. Dorian Prince can make shots. A lot of people can make shots. It's it's the mentality people fear.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people see when they see certain people like nah, they walk away. You know what I mean? Because people fear that. So I'd love if I ever get a chance to talk to Victor. It's kind of like, you know, because I already have a basketball family, so I see it, and that's how we've instilled and ingrained this
for sure
like mentality.
There's NFL players who will go on the field before a game, and when it's cold out, and they'll see their opponent warming up in a hoodie, or like just look like, ooh, the weather's a little tough. I've heard guys who have played go out there and they look at and they're like, oh, we won. We're going to win today. Yeah, they're not ready for us. I'm going to end it there. So what was it? I want to get this quote again. People don't fear skill. They fear mentality.
They fear mentality. They don't fear skill. Like skill, you know what it is about skill? Skill is just game plan. So, coach, my hand is up. He's a great shooter. He made it. If a guy go at you every time, that's attacking your inner, like, spirit. That's attacking, like, man, he's coming back at me again? Again? What does he think I am?
You hear that other podcast? It's not about skill. It's our mentality.
It's a mentality.
That's why we're coming from the top of the charts.
Don't take skill out of the equation. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
Welcome to another end of the show with my amazing co-host, Tony C. Oh my God. I think people are going to start calling you Tony C. It's Tony Cartagena. That's how I called you, but Cartagena?
Cartagena is what.
Cartagena, but that's how European I would say.
Oh yeah, no, which is the more proper way. It honestly depends on what side of the world you're from, or like what country.
But I keep calling you Tony C, and people was like, "Who's?"
So every coach I've ever had, imagine I blow a defensive assignment. The coach is gonna yell at you. They're not gonna yell at me. I have like 4 syllables in my last name. TC is always been,
okay.
Yeah. So it's.
Well, our co-host TC, he's amazing. Thank you guys so much. Want to thank our sponsors. Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
Thank you guys. Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. You guys have been amazing. Thank you, Carbliss. Please, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comments. Please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok everywhere. Thank you guys. The show is blowing up. You guys have been amazing. Analysis out.